Okay, welcome to part 2 of our time series practice assessment. So what we're doing is we are doing the graph. So you can see I've logged into NZ Grapher and I am ready to go. So I'm going to open up that information I've got from A Bed for the Night. Okay, so I'm opening up my Excel document and here it is ready to go. So I've got all this information, but I only need to pick one. So obviously I'm going to do a time series graph. So here it is. I'm going to choose time because otherwise it won't be a time series graph. And then I've got all these other things to choose from. So I think I'm going to go with holiday parks. So I'm going to go look at holiday parks and the number of guests they had for the months of those times. So here's my graph. So from the beginning of about 1997 right through to 2019, we've got this graph here. We have to add a few extra details to help us answer a few questions, so I'm going to add the long-term trend. So we start taking averages of all these numbers along the way, and you can see my trend. I can trace my mouse over it and see what's going on. Over here, I've got my seasonal effects. In the first season of the year, so in summer, we've got above average numbers. It falls during autumn and winter, but then during spring, it starts to pick up again, which is common sense. So I should be making a much better title here, Holiday Park, and it was guests. Okay, so I'll update my graph. And there is my graph ready to go. So I should create a new Word document and copy and paste my graph into there. So here it is. I'm going to copy that image and I'm going to paste it in here. So there's my very first graph. Okay, there are other graphs I need to do as well. So let's go back to NZ Grapher. And we are going to also look at our forecasting graph. Okay, so the red line is showing me going off into the future. And there's some extra fuzzy bits because we don't know what the future is going to hold, so we are guessing the best that we can. So again, I'll put some outlines. Oops, sorry, we don't want to do that one. Here's my graph. I might add, I think we're all good there. Okay, so there's my graph. Again, I can now copy that image and put it into my Word document, ready for my write-up later on. Okay, so I might also get those numbers as well because they looked useful. So let's go back to that one because it's actually giving me numbers. So I'm going to copy that. Okay, doesn't want to let me copy, so I might have to screenshot that one to get those numbers. On your keyboard, there's something called PRTSC, and that's a way of taking a photo of your screen. So I've taken a photo here. I'm going to go into Word, and I'm going to be able to hopefully paste that screen. So there it is. I don't want all of it, so I double click on it. I've got this crop option, and I can just get those numbers. So get rid of everything else. If you're not sure how to do this, if you've never done this before, watch this video a few times, or you might have to find somebody who has. Now I've got the little bit that I actually want. I click on crop again and it gets rid of everything else. So I've got those numbers. I can make that a little bit bigger, hopefully making it readable. Okay, so I have now got a time series graph with a moving average or a smoothed line there in the middle. I've got my seasonal effects. I have a forecast off into the future, and I've even got some numbers here to tell me what's going to happen. Okay, so now that my graphs are complete, I'm ready to start writing up. So I will catch you in the next video, the write-up.